the truth.
Like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I just found a little bit of information I thought might be kind of important, or at least of good interest for everybody. I don't know if y'all heard about it or anything like that, but they had a meeting over in, I think, Switzerland or someplace like that about the microplastics problem in the world and everything, how they're accumulating, winding up in food and inside of our bodies even. I mean, they're everywhere. We're breathing them, we're eating them, we're absorbing them through our skin, and everything is like this. This microplastic thing, guys, is becoming a problem. In fact, I did a little quick check, I guess you call it, with AI, artificial intelligence stuff, and asked them about if microplastics could be considered a part of our soil now or in the future. And yes, that is the answer. That if they keep producing microplastics and the biodegrading of natural substances like plants and animals would actually produce a new soil type containing microplastics. So lo and behold, because of this meeting over in Europe somewhere about microplastic, they decided to do something about it. And of course, when they start doing something about it, that cost usually falls on the consumer. But several corporate people have decided to get out of the microplastics or the plastics industry. They're starting to sell off their things. One of them that's of note, one of the largest petrochemical companies in the world, also in the United States, has decided to start selling off at least one, if not more, of its petrochemical plants. This is where they make plastics, petrochemicals. They make plastics and other materials and everything. Every gallon of gas is used. There's no waste byproduct that is thrown out of oil. It is 100% used. In fact, it's one of the most manufactured product that is used 100%. I mean, there's no leftover from it. So every gallon of oil, every barrel of oil is completely used in its byproducts and its main products. So anyway, this one company, global company, operates in several nations, has decided to start selling off its operations in the United States and also around the world that produces microplastics. And that company is Shell Oil. This is the beginning now, guys. Other companies will follow suit, and microplastics, plastic production, will fall quite a bit if they do not pass on the cost of reclamation of this plastic material and also finding suitable resources to substitute this microplastics or the plastics that they produce with another substance. So this is going to cause a fallout through all global petrochemical companies. And you should watch for this, guys. And I do think that gas prices will go up. Hello, everybody. I do have some breaking news I think maybe most of you would be interested in. The Danish and French navies have moved their ships off the coast of Greenland today, or yesterday actually. And the U.S. has launched a E6 doomsday plane off the Greenland coast also, and it's circling around right now. That was brought up this morning and everything like that, guys. This is kind of breaking important news that this is going on. And as we know, I don't know if you heard this or not, but the other day, a few days ago, the U.S. announced that they was moving a lot of ships down to the Caribbean. This is just before the hurricane started coming in. So y'all remember that this hurricane came in from the west, or from Africa towards the United States. It swept up through Puerto Rico, touched the edges of Cuba, then on up the east coast of the United States, then on out to sea. Well, during this time, the U.S. moved a lot of ships down to the Caribbean. They say in things for what's going on in Venezuela. Venezuela has been very actively voiced against the United States as well as Europe. So this is kind of something that they're saying they're doing on. Again, Venezuelan president offered a bounty for the arrest of and capture of Donald Trump, as well as Donald Trump announced the same thing for Maduro. So that's an ongoing thing here, guys. And there's about resources is what that's going on with. But also, I found out last night after talking to watching the Duramax News on YouTube and everything, they had a discussion about what they had found out in Cuba. Cuba has been found to be making a lot of underground bunkers, underground bases recently. A lot of them are symbolized with a red star cut into the landscape or in rocks or anything like that, or whatever, some kind of symbol like that that you're using. But a red star is around a lot of these bases, and it is thought to be that these are belongs to China, Russia, or some other group that's associated with these two countries. There's a lot of countries that have a red star in their symbol somewhere in here and there, so it's up to guess who this is. Now, China has been making moves near with Venezuela and other countries in South and Central America, so it is a possibility that these excuse me, are also Chinese. These facilities have been going into the side of hills. Some mountains or hillsides have been created and then grown over with grass and stuff like that, trees and everything. Also, a lot of sites have been seen to have a bare top to these tops of mounds, a large mound built into the ground. Now, it's figured or thought to be that these could be missile emplacements, missile silos, or launch sites for missiles and everything, a pop-up launch platform. Also, like with a aircraft carrier, they have these elevators built in. Now, these elevators could be used to launch drone helicopters or attack drones like we've seen being used in Ukraine. So either one of them are possibilities, those guys, that this is going on in Cuba. Now, a lot of us remember the Cuban crisis, a missile crisis, heard about it, lived through it, one or the other. But guys, it's kicking up again. So a little bit of other information on this also, that Trump has been delaying certain types of arms to Ukraine. And it is said that he's been doing this to keep the war effort going in that region, also in other areas. As we know, the war machine keeps rolling, keeps making money. So this is part of that also. So it kind of indicates that perhaps he is influenced by the war machine, as we think he is. But the other things that has come out is that this came from Trump's mouth himself. This is not verbatim, but this is in essence what he said, that we are testing several tactics and equipment with the war in Ukraine. This is a testing ground, guys. So this is another reason why they want this to keep going on and on, so they can test out equipment they got going. So anyway, back to what's going on with the Caribbean and everything like that. Now, that Hurricane Aaron came through. It might have been a cover-up for movements of ships or troops or anything else like that, or it could have been used to delay any kind of movement of ships or other type of things. So it's kind of a possibility. I do believe it's connected, but there's no real proof of it. But, when things are presented to you in a certain way, you kind of draw your own conclusions from that. Another breaking bit of news I found out this morning, late yesterday evening, is that the United States has been moving all troops from Iraq, and they have not disclosed to where they are moving to. But odds are right now that they're moving into Israel. This is also going on in the Middle East, is that the United States has started moving all THAAD missile defense systems to Israel. So that's kind of important, considering that yesterday the UN has come out and started making some strong words against Israel's actions in Gaza, calling it a humanitarian crisis, because people are dying of thirst and everything like that. The death toll keeps climbing every day, hundreds every day, guys. It's really bad. But there is mention of possibility of peacekeeper units being sent in. This is in quotation marks, guys, from my point. Peacekeepers are going to be sent in to Gaza for the protection of humanitarian aid workers. And the directives are being drawn up, as I was told, or as I found out last night. So it is kind of standing up, and we know how Donald Trump is connected to Israel, and it looks like they're going to try to make a possibility of proxy stand against the UN and the Middle East countries, Iraq, Turkey also, against Israel. And U.S., of course, backs Israel in a lot of different ways, not only monetarily, but militarily as well. There's a lot of stuff, guys, I got going on right now. I'm working on putting together about this connection with Israel and United States and a few other things. But one thing I do want to bring up back to this thing going on in Ukraine is that it has been well established that the United States and Russia, and USSR or whatever, even back before the turn of the century, 1900s, even before that, shortly after the United States became a country, that Russia and the United States have been allies in almost all things. World War One, also in World War Two, also in Iraq, when they Middle East, Afghanistan, in fact, Russia and the United States both worked there, sometimes against each other, supposedly on the surface, but again, they have long been allies, even through the Cold War. The trade agreements with Russia has been long-standing, been like that, and it has not gone away. Russia and the United States are still allies in a lot of different ways. So are we seeing something going on with this Ukrainian thing going on that it's just a show, a way to make money, a way to test equipment, or whatever? I hope y'all have a good day. Later, taters. Like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment.